As Freddie Blassie once said, it's time to stand up and deliver. Well, it went something like that, but it's not quite 2001 Invasion Angle. It is 2025 Stand and Deliver, quite possibly the worst build for an NXT pay-per-view. And it honestly, I'd borderline say in its entirety when you actually think of these Stand and Deliver, like the big NXT pay-per-views, man. A lot of these matches were not finalised / decided until this final week, and a couple of days build is nowhere near good enough. So what we're going to do, we're not going to stand, we're going to sit down, and we're going to see if NXT can deliver something worthwhile tonight. And I say tonight, if you're American, you know, you'll be watching this at like, what, 9 a.m., 1 p.m, depending on which side of the states you're on. Here in the UK, it's a 6 p.m. start. It's a long, long day of professional wrestling. It truly, truly is. But, you know, no, let's not beat around the bush. There's no point me dragging this intro it when there's about a million things that need done today into the wee hours later on. So, let's begin. First match, Last Legend, Dakota Jackson taking on Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade taking on Fatal Influence, and Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan, number one contender, fatal four-way elimination match. Right. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people on the channel bash Cora Jade, Roxanne Perez, right? And I think people are entitled to their opinion, but I just don't understand why these two, especially like Roxanne Perez, they've been called up to the main roster. They've been jobbed out. They then go back to NXT. And I say called up to the main roster, it hasn't been like a proper call up. They've made like sporadic appearances. They did it with Breaker and they did it with Hayes. It's like, why can't they just call them up and push them properly? This match is just a, like, even Lash Legends and Dakota Jackson, they were up on the main roster not too long ago. You know, about 6 months ago, they were on the main roster. I don't understand what's happened. Who's going to win this match? I'm going to go with... honestly, it's an absolute job fit. I'm going to go with Fatal Influence, man. It's very, very hard to pick who's actually going to win it, but I'll go with Fatal Influence. Any team could win, and I wouldn't be surprised. It's just 8 people won together in a match, right? Up next, we've got the D'Angelo family versus Dark State. I like Tony D'Angelo, but Jesus Christ, the family, it served its purpose on NXT. I think it's about time they decided to call up to the main roster. You know what? Actually, you know, we're on Netflix now, right? They could reach out to a million actors that could come in and help solidify and give, you know, fresh air, breathe some fresh air into this family. Like, that is what needs to be done. I mean, look at the amount of actors that have been in TV shows and movies to do with mobs. You know what I mean? The Mafia. That is what I would do. Actually hire some decent people, man, to elevate this, because it's become so stale in NXT. And see on Netflix, see if you give it the Netflix rub with actual way better production behind it, with the sit downs and the meets in the restaurant, you could have something truly good. But it's never going to happen. It's a pipe dream for me, I'm afraid. But they're taking on Dark State, which is a literal gang of jobbers. They're not going to lose Dark State, nor should they. As much as I would rather the family win. But what is the sense of Dark State coming in, battering everybody, and then losing like one of their first matches? It makes no sense. So I'm going to go with Dark State to pick up that victory. V is for victory. NXT Tag Champions Fraxium versus Hank Walker and Tank Ledger. Hank and Tank, two wankers. I'm going to go with Fraxium. You know, they've went toe to toe with the Hardys. They've held the belts for a decent period of time. Hank and Tank are shite. I mean, the only thing I could maybe see is Fraxium losing and they get called up to the main roster. I've got a feeling when they get called up to the main roster, you know, Nathan Fraser's going to go his separate way, because for whatever reason, a lot of people seem to love him and his in-ring ability. And then what they'll probably put Axiom in the LWO or Legado del Fantasma, because that's all they've got these days. But I'll go with Fraxium to pick up the victory. Right, North American Championship on the line. Ricky Saints versus Ethan Page. And again, you'd be led to believe that these two they've joined the big leagues in WWE. So, you know, the grass is so much greener for them now. They're having a mid card title match in the developmental show, and they're both like 35. You know what I mean? This isn't. It's crazy. It's like, see when you hear Randy Orton on SmackDown and John Cena on SmackDown saying, "Here, this is my 20th WrestleMania." How have any of these guys got any chance of getting anywhere near 20 WrestleManias when even in their mid 30s they're not being booked accordingly? And I get it, right? They've only joined the company in the last year. It's not like they could have racked up Mania um, matches before then. But this like gimmick of just holding people back and holding people back for whatever reason, it doesn't work. And if they were that good, they'd truly be on the main roster. We all know that. I mean, honestly, why is Penta and Ray Phoenix on the main roster ahead of Ricky Saints and Ethan Page? At least you could have argued if they kept them together as a tag team, Penta and Ray Phoenix, you could have been like, well, here, they need a tag team. Ethan Page and Starks or Ricky Saints are so much better than those two. Is what it is. Um, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Ricky Saints. I mean, he hasn't held the belt for long. There could be a dodgy finish in there, I guess, but we'll go with Ricky Saints. Right up next, NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match. You've got Saria, Sol Ruka, um, Jada Parker. You've got Tia Hale and a few other women. It's not telling me the names here, so I'm literally, I'm literally fucking hazard, I guess. I'm actually going to go with Saria to pick this one up, man. I think she's going to win. I mean, anyone could win it, but it just becomes a pretty boring trend with this belt always being defended in a ladder match. I have no doubt this will probably be one of the matches of the night. It should be. You know what I mean? If you deliver in a ladder match, you've got the best. You know, got a great chance of actually being one of the best matches of the night. But I'll go with Saria. Into the NXT Women's Championship match: Stephanie Fakir versus Yulia versus Jordan Grace and Jada Parker. So, obviously, Stephanie Fakir is your NXT Women's Champion. Fuck me. I said Jada Parker for the. So, Jada Parker. Jada Parker's in. She's not even in the North American Ladder Championship match. She's in that match. It proves how much I know. Then who the hell is that looks exactly like Jada Parker? I can't. Lola Fice, is that it? God, I got them mixed up there. Anyway, no need to fear because it's not like Jada Parker's going to be winning this championship. I mean, I could see Grace picking it up. I mean, Julia literally just gave up. Julia just literally lost to Fakir. I don't know. A fatal four-way match. I feel like Stephanie Fakir's not retaining. It's almost like a perfect chance for her to lose the belt and not get pinned. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go with Grace, Jordan Grace. That's what I'm going to go with. I think she's going to win, and we're going to see Fakir maybe get called up to the main roster, and they'll give Julia to like. Well, I mean, in an ideal world, you'd be like, they'll give her to SummerSlam, rebuild some of that momentum after the injury. But it seems to be if you don't get called up after Mania, you have to wait another 12 months, which is ridiculous. So I'll go with Jordan Grace, and then our main event, NXT champion Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. Again, no exactly the greatest match of all time here between these three. Obafemi as their champion. Is he going to get called up to the main roster? Potentially, but I look at Trick Williams. He's the guy that needs called up. What I think will happen here, Obafemi will retain. He'll pin Trick Williams. Maybe Javon Evans could pin Trick Williams and win the belt if they want to push somebody new, but I think no matter what, someone in this match is getting called up to the main roster, and it should be Trick Williams. You know, I mean, he has been the ever present on NXT, you know, the last couple of years, and I think he's slipping into the category of Breaker and Hayes, where it's like, well, when are they ever going to call him up? You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm going to go with Obafemi, but it could be Javon Evans. Either way, I can guarantee that one of them's going to pin Trick Williams, and that is it, folks. For Stand and Deliver, it is what, an 8-match card. That's about 8 more matches than I'm comfortable with watching at this time of the day. But anyway, leave your thoughts down below. It's WrestleMania Saturday. What a day we've got in store. Till next time, peace.